So in last video, we understood a Netflix architecture at high level, and today we are going a one level deeper and understand a very important component of a Netflix, that is the API gateway. So just imagine a Netflix having a millions of users, hundreds of microservices, thousands of devices such as a mobile application, TV application, browser, tab, and they need a data but not in a same format. अब आप सोचोगे कि नॉट इन अ सेम फॉर्मेट, इसका क्या मतलब हुआ? सो फॉर एग्जांपल के लिए कंसिडर करो, इफ़ यू आर वाचिंग यूट्यूब ऑन योर मोबाइल एप्लीकेशन. So mobile application required at least 2 to 3 video at the same time, and if you are watching YouTube on a TV, so it must be that it load at least 10 to 15 video. So it is clear that a mobile application required a small amount of data and a TV application required a large amount of data from the same API, and that must be handled at a API gateway. Second thing, that if the each client are directly accessing to a microservices, so it must be that microservice handle all authentication, authorization, rate limiting, monitoring part, and if any security part of view, such as if you want a JWT token or any security header, you must be sent in each request, so it handle throughout microservice, and it is very difficult to handle at each microservices at a same pattern. If in case in future there is some security thing need to be updated, so we need to be update at each microservice level. So to reducing that part, we Netflix build their own API gateway. It is also called as a Zuul, or it is also known as the edge service. So let us see that in a edge service how it can be seen. So this is a simple thing, that client, then Zuul API gateway, microservice, and the database. And from the client, request goes first to the API gateway. It route to the specific microservice and fetch the required data. So in API gateway, there are the three filters. First one is a pre-filter, second one is a route filter, third one is a post filter. So pre-filter handle all authentication, authorization, limit rating, and the dynamic routing part. And after that, the request goes to a routing filter. A routing filter decide that which service need to be called, and it call to a specific service. After getting the response, it goes to a post filter, and at post filter also all authentication, authorization part is done, and the request goes to a specific user. So this thing handle at a API gateway. Now let's see that how it handle in our project. So let's see, this is our project. So in that project, we are having three microservice. First one is a hotel, second one is a rating, and third one is a user service, and one is the API gateway, that is a user endpoint. From the user, first request goes to the API gateway, and from that it route to a specific service. So for that, you just need to be add two things in a API gateway. First one is that add a proper dependency. So this dependency need to be add in a API gateway service, and in a application.yml you need to be add all microservices endpoint, such as we are added for the user service. The user service is running on the 8081 port. So whenever the request is come from the user endpoint, it route to the this user service, as you can see that. If you are seeing the user service, it is running on the 8081 port, and whenever the request come from the user endpoint, it route to the user service. And for same thing for the hotel service, if the request come from the hotel, it route to the specific service. And these things need to be handled with the help of that dependency we are added earlier in a form.xml. So it is must that you add this dependency, and this is simple way you can route to a specific service. And all the authentication filter part you must be handled in a there in API gateway controller part, that all authentication, authorization part are need to be handled here in application.property. That's the simple thing you just need to be add in our project, and you can easily route to the specific service.